I think about the origins. I think about oranges. I think about the origins. I think about the orange origins of mouth sound making beatboxing. You know, because it's like, I think that most of it, you think of it as something is probably like people started doing in the 80s or something, but no way there wasn't somebody around a campfire in like one of the wars where they'd line up with the single shot muskets and do that whole game. Can you believe that was a fucking thing? That was an institution. We're going to line up and okay. So at the campfires, I'm sure people were probably, there's some of the most lit campfires of all time. We're probably at wartime thing. Well, no, because they're, let's think. Yeah, because like the Revolutionary War, I imagine it was pretty fucking puritanical. Like there wasn't a lot of, the sexuality wasn't much of an element because it wasn't very co-ed, right? So to call something the most lit ever when it doesn't involve sexual dynamics and literal sex, then that's inaccurate. But I imagine when you get a bunch of people together who know they're going to probably die tomorrow, there's going to be beatboxing around the campfire, right? Now, it probably didn't sound like that, though. It's probably like somebody just realized, because they're all excited and they're like, soon I shall be dead. So they're like, obviously they're feeling the spirit. And somebody's like, man, you should check out this thing that Arthur can do with his mouth. Let's call it the Redcoats. So, because the British too, I mean, a ton of them died. So, I mean, they lost that one. At some point, they had the upper hand, and they probably weren't as like, because they were confident, right? So they probably, I would imagine, more on the colonial, would be American side. There were more of them like, we're probably gonna fucking die tomorrow, you know. But anyway, I imagine like somebody was just like, look what George can do. Not as in Washington, as in like George. Let me just fucking come up with an editorial male name that seems like a revolutionary soldier would have it. Okay, come on. What was Mel Gibson's character's name in the fucking Patriot? Anyway, so we get this guy. Look what he can do. Look what he can do with his mouth. Oh my Lord! It sounds like a drum. He's making a drum with his face. And then I'm sure like one of them was a spoken word poet who was like, Now, I never thought I was going to read my poetry aloud in front of my brothers at arms, but as being as I will likely die tomorrow, okay, here goes nothing. Reality, the musical, the festival. But I actually think that the first makers of mouth sounds, obviously, actually, I think that this is well documented. There's definitely been indigenous crews that have been making mouth sounds like that, because it seems obvious to me. And then you throw entheogens, psychedelic plant materials on into the mix, and I'm sure some 4th century human was going. I don't know if it was quite like that, but somebody. I think about this a lot, particularly when I'm on mushrooms in the woods, because I just start making all the mouth sounds, and I'm like, this seems obvious. There was quite a few years of my life where I didn't think I was capable of that. I thought that was a special person thing, making mouth sounds of that sort. And then I forget what got me going, but then at some point it was like, it started being a thing. And now, if I were to call myself a beatboxer, I don't think anybody would argue that. They, I mean, there might, I mean, that might just say that you're not doing the thing where you're replicating the sounds of instruments. Like, there's some really incredible beatboxers but it's interesting about beatboxing critiquing is that I don't find myself wanting someone to sound like instruments so much as sound like a human mouth that sounds interesting. Like, I enjoy Reggie Watts more than I don't want to say somebody that I enjoy less, but there's a guy and his initials are TT, and he's amazing. He's about as good as you could be at beatboxing, if the goal of beatboxing is to sound like musical instruments. He's also on a program that's initials are TT. Tom Thumb TED Talk. I mean, he's fucking incredible, but I would rather hear somebody sounding like a human mouth, because to me, it's not about sounding like instruments, because instruments sound like instruments. It's interesting to me that there's this, there's something very human about and then I think about, oh, I fucked up, I made a mistake, like I did at a point during that, and it's like, how you gonna make a steak? How you gonna make a steak? How you gonna make a steak? How you gonna cook a steak? How you gonna cook a steak with your mouth? How you gonna make a mistake making mouth sounds if it's not my personal mythology that what would be best is to sound good? I just want to sound like my mouth is making interesting sounds, and I want to feel the sensation of feeling like this mouth sounds that I'm making are causing interesting vibrations to my face. I want to feel like I'm enjoying myself. And I don't have time to go into this because I was only going to do this for 10 minutes and it's now 9 minutes, but I have been prioritizing viscerally, somatically prioritizing. Like, I've been allowing myself to feel bad about self-perceived failures of things that aren't actually my values. Let me try to rephrase that. I've had incentives that are not my own. My incentive should be to enjoy my fucking goddamn self. And I'm a little angry about it because, but step 1, recognize problems. Step 2, acquire underpants. Step 1, recognize problems. Step 2, consciously course correct. Step 3, have a happy reality, right? My cat wants to get out. My cat doesn't want to be in the room anymore because I'm making sounds that are annoying to him. I would like to show you this image of my cat, Porterhouse. The cat. He's not my own. He wants to leave because I'm making sounds that are probably jarring to his little kitty ears. Porterhouse, 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 Porterhouse. I love you. I love you, Porterhouse. You're a beautiful, magical kitty. We love you so. And I'll come let you out right now. Okay. So the comfort of my cat is more important to me than being histrionic on the internet right now. So I'm going to sign off for the evening. Merry existence, happy reality. That was very going through the motions and insincere sounding. I wish you a merry existence and a happy reality.